out in New York 26, what elected a Democrat to one of the strongest Republican conservative districts in the country was Medicare. Voters in that district made a decision that they did not want to elect a member of Congress who would vote to end Medicare in order to fund tax cuts for big oil companies. Now, that was under the Republican plan. If you get sick, you get your Value Saver coupon. You bring it to the insurance company. The insurance company decides what they will pay, what they won't pay, and then you get stuck with a $6,400 additional bill, all to fund tax cuts to big oil companies.
Is that why they did it? Was Paul Ryan in his bed one night and he woke up, turned to his wife and said, "Honey, you know what? I figured out." I mean, come on.
No, that's not. No.
I will tell you one thing, Steve.
Right.
I like you, but we do not allow talking points on this show. That's a talking point, and you know it.
So there's an orthodoxy.
Okay, but I'm talking about oil companies. He's not doing this to fund tax cuts for big oil companies.
We have said consistently that we will negotiate constructively on improving, strengthening, and reforming Medicare.
But I'm talking about math. I'm not talking about right, and I want to save Medicare, and I know that 9 years from now, Medicare collapses unless changes are made, and those changes have to slow down the rate of growth of Medicare. Do you agree?
I don't. No, I don't. I don't disagree with you. But ending Medicare doesn't slow down the growth. The problem is every time we talk about some options, the response we get, with all due respect, is no, we're going to end Medicare. You cannot begin a negotiation by ending Medicare.
You know, when you accuse the Republicans of saying they got death panels coming up, that's demagoguery. Isn't it also demagoguery to say we're going to end Medicare as we know it?
Pat, it is not demagoguery. It is plain fact. Look, there are things that we need to do, and we want to address those issues on a bipartisan basis. The problem is that our attempts to address those issues has been met with two words: end Medicare.
How high do you think the tax rate ought to be?
I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt you. They are not saying to end Medicare. If you have a problem with Paul Ryan's system, that's fine, but you keep saying in Medicare. Right. Republicans demagogued Medicare last year on Medicare Advantage, but I've just got to jump in here. If you've said it 10 times in 5 minutes, you know that's impressive. That's impressive, but you know that's just not true.
We want to make sure that we protect our senior citizens at a time when they're most vulnerable, and we think that we can find efficiencies within the system without in any way cutting the benefits to our senior citizens. But what the president isn't willing to do is to add any additional burdens on the backs of our senior citizens at a time in their life when they're most vulnerable. That doesn't mean that there aren't efficiencies in the Medicare program that we can find, and we're looking across the board at government for efficiencies.
But nobody who looks at this seriously thinks that looking at efficiencies is the way to solve the Medicare's problems.
Oh, I think you can. I mean, if you've added 12 years already to the solvency of the program, that's a step in the right direction. So I wouldn't rule out efficiencies. I think throughout government we're looking for efficiencies and ways of streamlining the process, and I think within the Medicare program there is actually ample opportunity for that.